praise to Yahweh, in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, or GMS for short. This is where I have learned this truth, and this is where I am still learning this truth. And also Shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. Alright, this video is going to be going back into Isaiah, the 14th chapters, and specifically the 14th verse. Alright, this is a mind state of Esau, alright, the wicked. Alright, verse 14 of Isaiah 14, it reads, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. Alright, his pride is that high. Alright, this is his heaven. Alright, his rulership, he is at the top. Alright, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Alright, so I wanted to look up this thing that's starting to come back up more often. All right, we always speak about the prophecy in Revelation 13 verse 16 and 17. All right, we've touched on things that may have a correlation with that thing, such as a social credit score, such as you know, the dollar passing away or going away. All right, just things that could just things that correlate or have or could have a relationship with the funneling in of this system, funneling everybody into their system. All right. What about this? The green pass. All right. CO2 emissions or CO2 footprints. You know, all these things that go along with this MOTB or this micro CHIP. All right. These things are going to be, there's going to be a lot of information, a lot of data, all right, that is stored on this thing. Okay. Now, something else that could enhance this thing as far as having your medical data on this CHIP. All right. Now, imagine a future where there you have the CHIP ready to be put forth, one in the head and the hand, along with medical data. Okay. What else could enhance this thing? All right. So we've mentioned maybe or maybe not. All right. We've mentioned gene editing. Maybe. All right. I can't remember if we have or not. Maybe a while back. All right. Now, I thought I looked for the video of this Harari dude. All right. Speaking about fixing God's mistakes as far as gene editing goes. All right. And that goes along with Isaiah 14 and 14. All right. His thought is that he will be like the Most High. Really, he wants to be the Most High. All right. So I just want to bring that scripture out, and then also along with that, touch on what is gene editing. Now, this is going to be a fairly quick video, Lord willing. All right, we'll see. Okay, so what is gene editing? All right. Now, we're just going to read what this AI overview says, okay? Not that AI is always right. All right, these prophecies are most definitely going to come to pass. Thus saith the Lord, right? But we point out all possibilities where they could make people feel easy, comforted, trusting, okay? And one thing that they are going to feel trusted with is people's editing people's genes. All right, making someone who may be paralyzed or with a certain disease that they say is hereditary. Okay, they might tell you that they can fix this thing. All right, you can probably bet your bottom dollar that they are going to tell you this. All right, so let's just take a look at what it says about gene editing. It says gene editing is a technology that allows researchers to alter an organism's DNA by adding, removing, or replacing pieces of DNA at specific locations in the genome. It's also known as genome editing. All right, one definition earlier that I had looked up also had the word correcting in it. All right, it didn't say that it would it also added okay, when it says okay, it says a technology that allows researchers to alter an organism's DNA by adding, removing, or replacing. It also had the word correcting in there. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And Lord willing, will come across that. All right, wherever I seen that at. All right, it goes on to say, gene editing has many applications, including research, disease treatment, and agriculture. All right, so let's go ahead and read what's under research. It says research. It says researchers can use gene editing to disable genes in lab cultured cells or model organisms to understand how genes function. All right, and that automatically reminds me of gain of function. I don't know the relationship, even if there is a relationship between gain of function and gene editing, but that it sounds like it might be related. As a matter of fact, sidebar from what is gene editing. What is gain of function? What is gain of function research? Let me see. Let me just type in what is gain of function. Hey, uh, gain of function research. It says overview of gain of function research. It says gain of function research is medical research that genetically alters an organism in a way that may enhance the biological functions of gene products. This may include an altered pathogenesis, transmissibility, or host range, i.e., the types of hosts that a microorganism can affect. All right, so that sounds pretty similar to what we are talking about here in gene editing. All right, all right. Usually, when we hear of gain of function, we hear of so-called scientists, all right, messing with these animals, all right, all types of beasts, all right, messing with their cells. Okay, gain of function might be an easier way of saying, okay, we're moved from animals, now we're messing with you humans. All right. So now let's go under the disease treatment. It says gene editing can be used to repair genes that cause disease. For example, the PCSK9 gene can be edited to lower LDL-C levels in the blood. All right, so let's do a web search on PCSK9. It says proprotein convertase subtilisin kexin type 9, all right, is an enzyme that regulates cholesterol levels in the blood. It says function of PCSK9 binds to LDL receptors on the surface of liver cells, which cause the receptors to break down. This process prevents the receptors from recycling back to the cell surface, which results in higher cholesterol levels in the blood. All right, so they'll be able to do something with cholesterol, right, to lower them shits. Okay, hold on. This thing. I need to get back. I want to find out what this LDL-C level is. I guess it's your cholesterol level. Let's see. It says LDL-C, or low density lipoprotein cholesterol, is a type of cholesterol in the blood that can build up in artery walls and increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. I wonder where we get this stuff from. Let's see. Hey, other factors. This is in a category called other factors when it comes to the LDL-C levels. Many factors can affect LDL-C levels, including age and heredity, okay, which are out of your control. A healthcare provider can help you determine the right treatment for you. What do you think they're going to tell you to do? They're going to funnel everyone into trusting them even more, especially with this gene editing. All right, let's get back to that. Okay, agriculture. All right, this is under the three where we said gene editing has many applications, including, all right, we read research, we read disease treatment. Now we're down here on agriculture. It says plant breeders can use gene editing to introduce new traits into crops. Now all of these things are happening already, all right, under the guise of different names, different people. All right, Appeal, Bill Gates' company Appeal. Okay, what do you think they do there? Are they gene editing this fruit or whatever they're growing, seeds? All right. Disease treatment. All right. We already went to see what gain of function is. They're just telling you they're introducing themselves into your body. All right, with gene editing, that this is possible. Shouldn't be surprising. All right. That's why this stuff is happening all over the place, man. These farms burning up. Everything is carrying disease. There's bird flu going around, all right, but they can fix it, right? That's what they tell you. All right, so it goes on to say gene editing techniques use molecular scissors or nucleuses to cut the DNA double helix at a specific point. The cell's repair mechanism then stitches the two pieces of DNA back together, allowing the desired modification to take place. A well-known gene editing technique is CRISPR, which is, Lord willing, what we'll get into. We'll read more about CRISPR in upcoming videos. Again, it says a well-known gene editing technique is called CRISPR-Cas9. So CRISPR is spelled, it's CRISPR. All right, -CAS9. It says, which is based on natural genome editing systems used by bacteria. Gene editing can be performed in the laboratory, in vitro, within cells to be reintroduced into an organism, ex vivo, or in the organism itself, in vivo. All right. So let's see. Let's do some of these drop down questions. Yeah, we'll read this definition of gene editing, all right? But we'll get these drop down questions first. It says, what is gene editing in simple terms? Genome editing is and genome editing and gene editing is the same thing, all right? It says genome editing is a method for making specific changes to the DNA of a cell or organism. It can be used to add, remove, or alter DNA in the genome. Human genome editing technologies can be used on somatic cells, which are non-heritable cells, all right? It says germline cells, which are cells not used for reproduction. and then germline cells that are for reproduction. All right, let's see. It said this is another drop down question. It says, how is gene editing actually done? Although Cas9 is the enzyme that is used most often, other enzymes, for example CPF1, can also be used. Once the DNA is cut, researchers use the cell's own DNA repair machinery to add or delete pieces of genetic material, or to make changes to the DNA by replacing an existing segment with a customized DNA sequence. Man. All right, this drop down question says, what is the difference between CRISPR and gene editing? How does it differ from other gene editing tools? It says the short answer, CRISPR is much easier to program than other tools. All right, before CRISPR, most gene editing tools were a single protein. By changing the peptide sequence of those proteins, scientists could alter their targets. Man. How does gene editing help disease? Gene therapy is done to fix genes that don't work properly. All right, faulty genes that cause disease could be turned off so that they no longer promote disease. Or healthy genes that help prevent disease could be turned on so they could stop the disease. Now they just fucking around with a lot, man. Again, Isaiah 14:14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. All right. Goes on further to say, though, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Now, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it right there for now. But Lord willing, we'll come back and we'll read more about CRISPR. We'll read more about gene editing. We'll read more about gene editing technology. All right. So I'm just go ahead and leave it there with that. All praise to Yahweh, Bahoshem, Yahweh Shai, Bahoshem, Rakaha Kwadash. All right. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, or GMS for short. This is where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also Shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. Lord willing, I'm of that number. All right. Before we go, really quick, the point is to show you that they are working on conveniences. They are working on things that are going to get the people to ask for this. Okay? This is the answer. What is the problem going to be that they set up? This is going to be their answer to whatever they got going on out here, man. They steadily spraying chemicals all over the place. They steadily putting chemicals in water all over the place. Steadily messing with seeds, animals. All right. This is their solution. What is the problem going to be that they bring on the scene? Okay. So, Lord willing, I'm of the number of the remnant and the elect. And Lord willing, we'll see you in the next video. Shalom.